Hey guys, Jiggelmeister here talking about one of my favorite games right now, Overwatch. With the most recent Overwatch patch that's been added, we received the long-anticipated Doomfist. And boy is he different. Not only is he a melee-based hero, something totally unique apart from this guy over here, but his presence itself makes a very interesting point in the lore. He's almost like a DC villain of sorts. For those of you that didn't watch Lord Kaplan's latest video about it, Doomfist is a big deal in the world of Overwatch. He's not just a Lone Ranger veteran type, or some hacker hidden in the shadows, or even some emergent amateur hero. He's a leader of the terrorist group Talon. This puts him toe-to-toe with someone like Reaper, one of the most important characters in the story and the catalyst for most of the conflict therein. You almost always see him as the face of villainy in the world of Overwatch, but with the addition of Doomfist, we get a glimpse at just how complex their world is. That the villains don't always agree with each other, and they have different visions on how they wish to change the world. To explain Talon's motives simply in a way that matches their members, Reaper is driven by revenge, Widowmaker has been broken, and Doomfist has a moral agenda. That's so different. This is why I say he's like a DC villain. He's not like a Marvel villain who 90% of the time is driven by some petty, detached revenge in the past, or the other 10% that's just obsessed with wanton destruction. He has a bigger vision. He thinks he's right, and that's what makes him so interesting. What is his reasoning behind all his violence, like terrorizing Numbani and the such? It's that I'd say he's a firm believer in the benefits of conflict theory. This is going into a philosophical / sociological direction, but you should have expected that from the title. Conflict theory is largely derivative from the work of Karl Marx, a hugely controversial figure best known as the father of socialism, or as it would later be known, communism. Marx was extremely concerned about the welfare of the poor and created work after work, thinking about why and how they suffer. And one of his most shining ideas to come out of this is conflict theory. It's the concept that human beings are naturally gravitating towards strife or conflict because of a growing demand for resources and an inability to meet them. However, while Marx would say this is a bad thing and must be solved by government-managed systems of equality, other parties disagree. Another movement concurring with the basis of conflict theory would be the social Darwinists, a movement embraced by capitalists mainly in America and Britain, and their movement boils down to people struggle to get what they want. Those who are strong get it and deserve it. People who are weak don't get it and die off. Now, I don't know about you, but that sounds an awful lot like a particular Akande Ogundimu to me. Hopefully I pronounced that right. His opening quote is,
"Only through conflict do we evolve."
Boom, connection to Darwinism and conflict theory made. Come on, man, I deserve a medal for that. So yeah, Doomfist clearly has sentiments that resonate with this, and they can be traced back all the way to his youth, with just his immense passion for competition and to rise up to the top. He liked beating people in business, martial arts, and now syndicated crime. Just to give an example, I don't know if you guys noticed, I mean, you probably have, but the area of Numbani that the map takes place in is full of promotional materials for Doomfist. Flyers, wreckage, a cart literally delivering his gauntlet, and most notably, 3 banners. These 3 banners list the people who have wielded the Doomfist: the Savior, the Scourge, and the Successor. Obviously, Akande, the current Doomfist, is the successor, but most people don't know how he got there. He was a close affiliate to the Scourge, the previous Doomfist, who was named Akinjide Adeyemi. Man, I'm really having a hard time with these names. But eventually, Akande saw more benefit if he was just out of the way, and so he did what any reasonable person would do. He killed his mentor and took the moniker of Doomfist for himself. So Doomfist has this really radical moral idea that conflict makes people stronger, but I think it's important for people investigating the lore of Overwatch to consider the actual merits of that idea. Is Doomfist doing a good thing? Let me present 2 arguments for you. First one, no, killing is bad. It doesn't matter if he's making a portion of the population stronger with his attacks, it's still not right. People have to suffer and recover for collateral damage. I mean, he literally tore off Tracer's chronal accelerator, and I imagine that was a pain to fix. He also glitched up Genji or something, but whatever, the poor guy's already nerfed. But there's also the notion that he's making these people stronger. But against what? The biggest threat to the Overwatch world I know of right now is Talon themselves, so they wouldn't even need to overcome problems if Talon didn't make them in the first place. Is strength for strength's sake valuable? Does might make right? See, I'm telling you, these games go deep, or maybe I'm just overlooking these things. Apart from that, let's consider the other side of the coin. Argument 2. Yes, Doomfist is right. And this is based on the notion that even though Talon is creating problems, had they not been there, other villains would have emerged. I mean, we already have an idea of what they would be. Space monkeys, Australian outback terrorists, hipster robot riots. I don't know, man. Overwatch is cool, but it's also really weird. Regardless, there are other enemies, and Talon is certainly making our heroes stronger and more apt to face them. Like, do you think Winston's any weaker after that fight? I'm sure he's not. A perfect demonstration of this formula working properly is the show Dragon Ball Z. In this arc-based, exaggerative alien combat series, the Z fighters in each arc encounter a villain far beyond their capacity to defeat, but with training they reach new levels of power and eventually beat them. After that, they meet a new villain of even greater strength and defeat them the same way. Rinse and repeat. Basically, Goku couldn't have beaten Majin Buu if Gohan hadn't defeated Perfect Cell, if Trunks and Goku hadn't defeated Frieza, if Goku, Gohan, and Krillin, yes Krillin, hadn't defeated Vegeta and Nappa. And the biggest testament to this argument is the existence of another hero already being in the game. After Doomfist broke out of prison, he commenced an attack on the city of Nambani, terrorized the airport, destroyed the local security, and stole the gauntlet, leaving part of the city in shambles. This destruction inspired a young girl to respond in her own way by building a robot to protect the people of Nambani, and her name is Orisa. Do you see what just happened here? Doomfist created a scenario of chaos, and someone rose above it. Doomfist created Orisa. Let that sink in. He got what he wanted, and because of his actions, the world has one more hero to keep it safe. So where you fall between these two arguments largely depends on what kind of person you are. Are you compassionate and like to minimize people's suffering? Or are you practically minded, value power, and constantly looking towards the future? As for me, just like with the Sans video, I believe in a compromise of both ideas. I think Doomfist is correct when he says conflict makes people evolve, but I believe he's wrong when he enforces that conflict upon the world. There are already enough villains out there, you don't need to add more. I think his moral ideas, along with his sheer power in itself, would be more useful if he was on the side of the good guys, if he was a hero. But nonetheless, he is an extremely interesting character with unique reasons, and he makes me optimistic to see what else the developers can add to the game, its story, and just the overall experience of Overwatch. Thank you for watching. Hi guys, Jiggelmeister once again. It's been a while since we formally ended like this. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe because, see, I didn't lie, I made another video game essay thing. From the response I received in my Undertale video, I can at least say that you guys like watching this kind of stuff, so thanks for that. I have at least one other game in mind that I'd like to cover in a similar way. If you like the anime convention video, my personal favorite that I've made, click here if you want to see it, I have another fully illustrated video in the works, and from then on, I really don't know what else I'll put out. Maybe some more gameplay, I'm not sure. But until then, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys again soon. Bye.